justmariaD. It is indeed mariaD. And today I'm joining in with a collaboration with YouTube Collaborators group. And today's collaboration is an ongoing series. Unfortunately, I missed the last one, but this is an ongoing series that Ingrid over at Mummy Mia Homeschool Chronicles is running. And the series is called Homeschooling on a Budget. I'm going to refer to it as home educating on a budget because that is the phrase that we tend to use here in the UK. Home educating on a budget for the subject area of history. So how I thought that I would do this, because we use a lot of internet-based resources, I thought that that is probably the best way for me to participate in this collaboration, is to show you the types of things that we use for history, so that one, our budget is kept lower so we can put our money towards other things, and two, and when I say other things, I mean other home educating experiences rather than lots and lots of curriculum, and two, stick to our philosophical approach at the moment, which is to be largely autonomous and allow Joe to direct his education and choose from resources that he naturally clicks with, which for him, he is a very visual learner and he likes to watch things, I suppose. Just think that when we talk about these things, we are better to talk about what we know. So I'm going to hop off the screen here and hop on the screen here. Alrighty, see you in a minute.
Okay, and we're back. Now you're going to have to excuse me. I have a snoring dog lying under my desk and children playing on the trampoline outside with a ball. And so you're going to hear a lot of happy kids and a very content dog as we talk through these. So this is Ingrid's channel, the collaboration coordinator. But I'm just going to go through some of the resources that we use. Crash Course has always been one of Joe's favourite websites to use. Joey largely watches a lot of these by himself. I cannot tell you that all of these videos are going to be child friendly to a degree that you would be happy with as a parent, nor can I tell you that they come from a Christian perspective, because they don't. They're written from a secular perspective, and that's okay with me because I live in a household where I have a Christian faith and my husband is agnostic, and so it has always been quite important to us as a family to make sure that everybody's beliefs are looked at. So personally, don't have an issue with attacking any other part of the curriculum from a secular viewpoint, nor do I have any problem with looking at it from a Christian viewpoint, because at the end of the day we all have to do what works best for our families and honouring each other. If you like to have your resources from a Christian perspective, this may not be the resource for you. If you don't particularly mind, you don't need everything to be directed at child level, then Crash Course is definitely been one that Joey has come back to, not just for history, but for lots of different subjects as well. There is a Crash Course for kids. Let me show you that. But it doesn't actually have a lot of history per se. It tends to be more science-based at this point in time. When I asked Joey what was his favourite online history resource to use, he told me it was Simple History, and this is what he is working through at the moment. Again, not written from a Christian perspective, it will be secular, and I don't think that it is aimed at children, but let's just check that. It doesn't actually say what age it is, it just talks about that it's bringing history to life through animation, and it looks at things like World War I, World War II, the American Revolution, Vietnam War, the Cold War, the Russian Revolution, the American Civil War. Again, you're going to have to make decisions about what you want your children to watch. The next one that I'm sure that many of you know about is Horrible Histories. Now, we watch a lot of Horrible Histories, but we also own the complete series of Horrible Histories, which I managed to pick up cheap one day. I think in TK Maxx, actually. It is specifically history, and it starts with history from the Stone Age. But you can see here that the Horrible Histories website has all kinds of funny little bits and pieces and quizzes. And then if you come back down here, it it shows you all the different episodes that there are on the BBC iPlayer. Horrible Histories has been one that my kids have come back to time and time again because it is something that is engaging. They really like the songs in the same way when they were little. They used to love Veggie Tales and sing those. They like to sing the Horrible History songs and remember history in that way. So Horrible Histories, both in book form, which obviously you have to pay for, but you can get it cheaper if you look around, and online resources and in videos, has been a staple in our household. Khan Academy is obviously one of those websites where, again, there is loads of different things happening on there, producing lots of free resources for people to use. So they do have a world history section. As I'm talking, I'm just going to scroll you through the playlist so you can see what's there. So yeah, they do have a world history section. Again, it will be written from a secular viewpoint. Khan Academy. This is one that we shall move on to eventually, I think, because I think it's probably a little bit more in depth. The last YouTube one that I want to talk about is one called Free School. This is a new one to me. We haven't used this, but it looks really great. I'm going to recommend it to Joe. And it obviously has lots of different videos on here as well, but it certainly has an ancient history for kids playlist. It also has a famous landmarks and World Heritage Sites playlist, which no doubt has some historical components in it as well. It has American history for children, as well as various other resources, as you can see. From what I can tell, they are just short bites of information which I would introduce with the hope of perhaps it fanning the flame of interest in Joe to take that learning further in other capacities. This was a website I found today when looking at history resources for kids. So this is not one that I have personally used, but I thought it was quite good. So it gives you some information about making an Egyptian mummy, how they do that. So you could read through something like this that would give you a nice little lesson in embalming, and then you could flip over to something like Pinterest, mummifying a chicken, which was something that my kids did many, many years ago, and you'll see there's lots of resources on Pinterest to complement that lesson on how to mummify a chicken so you can learn embalming process for yourself. I don't know whether you can access this from different countries. Obviously, if you are in the UK, then Bite Size is a good resource to use. You can have a look here that it takes you through the different levels of history. If you wanted to have a look at Key Stage 2 history, you would click on here. Let's have a look at prehistoric, and it takes you to various resources. We'll have a look at Stonehenge here. So you could have a look at something like this and work through Stonehenge, and then flip over here to Pinterest and have a look at some ideas that you can make for history. I thought this was really cute, making a little garden. We have tried this with white clay. I thought this painting was really lovely. And then there are all kinds of free resources on Pinterest that you can use as well. This was really cute. A bourbon, if you don't know, is a biscuit in the UK, is a particular type of biscuit, and this is obviously a lesson on how to do it with bourbon biscuits, which was a bit cute as well. So there are loads of ways that you can do history, both with using resources that are already out there and then gleaning information from other people who've gone before you and come up with some really great ideas.
So that's it really. Some of the resources that I've shown you today we have used, some of them we haven't used. You just take or leave them, really. There's no offense on my part as to whether you find them valuable or not, because we're all different, aren't we? And we all have different situations and we all come at life differently. I believe the next topic in this collaboration is Bible resources. That is something that you are interested in. Definitely go and visit Ingrid's channel, Mommy and Mia's Homeschool Chronicles, next week. I believe it's the same day. And she will have some great resources for you, as well as there will be a playlist for the other people joining in that collaboration and the resources that they have used over time as well. So anyway, I have been Maria, you have been awesome, and yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.